Have you ever watched your child try to build a tower of blocks only to see it come crashing down and then witness a complete meltdown? In that moment, it is so tempting to rush in and fix everything, but we need to stop and think about what that moment really means for their future development. As parents, we often feel a physical ache when we see our children struggle or cry after a mistake. Our first instinct is usually to protect them from that pain and solve the problem immediately. But by doing this, we might be accidentally teaching them to fear the very thing that will make them successful in the long run, which is failure itself. Failure is not the enemy of growth. It is actually the foundation of it. And today, we are going to explore how to transform that fear into courage and raise a child who is truly resilient. Imagine a world where your child looks at a difficult challenge and thinks to themselves, "I can do this, even if it takes 100 tries." This kind of mindset does not happen by accident. It is built through thousands of small interactions and conversations that happen right in your living room every single day. We often focus so much on the outcome, like the high grade, or the winning goal, or the perfect drawing, that we forget to value the process of getting there. When we celebrate only the wins, we unknowingly send a message that the losses are something to be avoided at all costs, or even something shameful. This creates a child who only plays it safe and never steps out of their comfort zone. The fear of failure usually starts with a misunderstanding of what intelligence and talent really are. Many children believe that if they fail at something, it means they are simply not good enough, or that they lack the natural ability to succeed. This is a fixed mindset, and it is our job to move them towards a growth mindset, where every mistake is seen as a necessary step towards mastery. We want our kids to understand that their brain is like a muscle that grows stronger every time they struggle with something new. The struggle itself is the sound of the brain getting smarter, and we need to help them hear it that way. Let us start by looking at how we talk about success in our homes. Think about the last time your child brought home a good grade or finished a difficult task. Did you say, "You are so smart"? Or did you say, "I saw how hard you worked on that"? It might seem like a small difference, but the impact is massive. When we praise intelligence, we give the child something to lose. They start to think, if I'm smart because I got an A, then what am I if I get a C? They become terrified of losing that label of being smart. But when we praise effort, we give them a tool they can always use, regardless of the immediate result. One of the most powerful things you can do as a parent is to model healthy failure yourself. Your children are constantly watching you to see how you handle life when things do not go according to plan. If you drop a glass and get angry, or if you make a mistake at work and talk about it with shame, they learn that mistakes are things to be feared. Instead, let them see you fail. Say out loud, "Oh, I made a mistake on this dinner recipe, but that is okay, because now I know I need less salt next time." By narrating your own recovery, you show them that the world does not end when things go wrong, and that learning is a continuous process. We also need to change the way we react in the immediate aftermath of a child's failure. When your child loses a game or fails a test, the first thing they need is not a lecture or a solution, but a safe place to land. Empathy should always come before instruction. Acknowledge their feelings by saying, "I can see you are really disappointed because you wanted to win." Let them sit with that feeling for a moment. Once they feel heard and supported, they will be in a much better mental state to analyze what happened. Teaching children to analyze their mistakes is a skill that will serve them for a lifetime. Instead of giving them the answer, ask curious questions like, "What part of that was the hardest for you?" Or, "What is one thing you could try differently next time?" This shifts the focus from the emotion of the failure to the logic of the problem-solving process. It turns them into little scientists who are experimenting with life, rather than victims who are being crushed by it. They start to see that failure is just data, and data is what we use to get better. We must also be careful about the pressure of expectations. Sometimes as parents, we project our own fears and desires onto our children. We want them to be the best because we think it reflects on our quality as parents. But this pressure can be paralyzing. Make it clear through your words and actions that your love is unconditional and has nothing to do with their achievements. When a child feels truly secure in their parents' love, They are much more willing to take risks because they know they have a safe harbor to return to, no matter what happens. Let us talk about the concept of the power of yet. Whenever your child says, "I cannot do this," gently add the word yet to the end of their sentence. This small word implies that mastery is coming and that the current state of struggle is temporary. It keeps the door to the future wide open. Another important strategy is to encourage calculated risks. Give your children opportunities to try things where they might not succeed right away. The goal is not for them to be perfect, but for them to get comfortable with the feeling of being a beginner, which always involves making mistakes. If we protect our children from this discomfort, we are actually depriving them of the chance to build their resilience muscles. Think about the environment in your home. Is it a place where mistakes are welcomed? You can even create a ritual where everyone shares one mistake they made that day and what they learned from it. This normalizes failure and takes away the sting of shame. It builds a culture of growth rather than a culture of perfection. It is also vital to teach children how to manage the physical feelings of frustration that come with failure. When we fail, our bodies often go into a stress response. Teach your child simple breathing techniques to calm their nervous system. Explain to them that this feeling is just their body's way of reacting to a challenge. Stop rescuing your child too quickly. This is one of the hardest things for parents to do. When we see our child struggling, our hands instinctively reach out to do it for them. But every time we do the task for them, we send a silent message that says, "I do not think you can do this on your own." Instead, try being a supportive coach. Offer a small hint, but let the final victory belong to them. We should also reevaluate how we talk about other people's failures and successes. When we judge others harshly, our children realize that we might judge them just as harshly. Share stories of famous people who failed many times before they succeeded. This helps children see that failure is the road to success. Help your child set realistic and incremental goals. Sometimes children get discouraged because they are looking at the giant mountain instead of the small step. Break down big tasks into smaller, manageable pieces. Each small success builds their confidence. You are not a bad parent for letting your child feel the sting of a mistake, or for not stepping in to save them every single time. In fact, by allowing them to experience these moments, you are giving them the ability to rely on themselves. You are not a bad parent because you want the best for them, and sometimes the best thing is a difficult lesson learned through experience. Remember that your job is to prepare the child for the path, not the path for the child. Our goal is to raise adults who are brave enough to chase their dreams without being paralyzed by the possibility of falling down. We want them to have the grit to get back up and brush themselves off. This journey starts today with how you respond to the next spilled milk or the next lost game. It takes patience and practice, but the result is a human being who is ready for anything life throws at them. Keep focusing on the connection you have with your child above all else. When that connection is strong, they will feel safe enough to take the risks necessary for growth. Trust the process and trust your child's ability to learn and adapt. Every small change you make today will ripple out into their future in ways you cannot even imagine. Your support and your belief in their ability to overcome obstacles are their greatest assets. Let us consider the role of play in building resilience. Play is where children first encounter rules and the possibility of losing. When you play games with your child, resist the urge to let them win every time. Losing a board game in the safety of their home is a perfect low-stakes way to practice handling disappointment. Persistence is a quality that can be nurtured through consistent encouragement. When you see your child about to give up, acknowledge the difficulty, but encourage them to try just one more way. Use phrases like, "I love how you are not giving up." This reinforces the value of persistence over the value of being perfect. We must also be mindful of our nonverbal communication. Our children are experts at reading our body language. If your child makes a mistake and you sigh deeply or look away in frustration, they will feel that shame deeply. Practice keeping your expressions supportive when things go wrong. A calm face can do more to settle a child's fear than 1,000 words. It shows them that you are a steady presence they can rely on, even when they feel like they have messed up. Building resilience is a marathon, not a sprint. There will be days when your child seems to handle failure beautifully, and other days when they crumble completely. That is normal and okay. The important thing is that you keep showing up with empathy and guidance. Eventually, they will internalize your voice, and it will become their own inner voice of encouragement when they face the challenges of adulthood. You are giving them the tools for a lifetime of courage, and that is the most valuable thing any parent can do. If you found these tips helpful and want to see more content on raising confident and resilient children, please make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us reach more parents and build a stronger community. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss our future guides. Thank you for watching, and remember, you are doing a great job.